Okay, so I finally did my everyday makeup routine. Tiffany got me to do this video. She is a mother with a set of triplets at home, and where I have twins, I'm never ever going to compare my life to hers because she doesn't have enough arms for the amount of children that she has, all at the same age. So I really want to do something for her since she had asked, and I just think it's awesome that she is such a loving mother that she is, and I know that you still embrace and enforce your girly side. So I hope you like this video, Tiffany. It was intended for Tiffany, and really though, I've had a lot of requests on how I do my makeup on a day-to-day basis, and I've had a lot of requests on how to cover up acne and acne scars. Since having my twins, I have right here just really uneven texture. I have hormonal acne. Hormonal acne is from your cheeks into your chin. And I still have the occasional just like flare up and breakout. And so I've learned how to cover those blemishes, and I've also learned how to do makeup where it sticks rather than just caking things on around those blemishes and having to touch it up later. I never touch up my face. It's really not cakey, and this is what seems to work for me. So I hope that those of you who are having issues with that you can maybe pick up some techniques that it helps you. I also hope that I've answered most of the questions, if not all, that I've had come in. So I really tried. I really hope that everyone enjoys this video, and I hope that it fulfills what maybe you've had in mind. And oh, I didn't go into much detail on the brushes and the products that I've used because I'm going to list it in the description bar below, and I was trying to avoid this from becoming a 2-hour-long video. So I hope you guys like it. Can I speak? Oh Lord. So I hope you guys like it, and I would like to hear back from you, yay or nay, on this video. Okay, thank you guys so much for the request. Okay, so I've already primed my face, and it's already set in pretty well. So I'm going to go in with my foundation. And again, everything I use is in the description bar below. So, and I'll also put a link for where I actually got this brush on Amazon. It's a flat top kabuki brush. It's the only thing I ever use for my foundation. As you can see, I'm kind of mixing two colors. I'll list those as well. I'm in between colors, so I'm just doing what I do. So I always start where my trouble areas are the most, which is my cheeks. And I'm going to stipple because it's going to cover the acne more. And I'm also going to, it's also going to make it last longer. So I stipple just a little bit just to get it distributed on my face. And you always want to start out, when you first start doing this, with less. It is going to take some practice on the amount that you put on your brush. You can start with it on your hand. That's really what you're supposed to do. I don't have time for that. And then I'm one of those people that I don't like to waste products, so any excess that I have, I always put it on my jawline, and I kind of just fan it a little bit. Well, I stipple, but I just kind of blend it into my neck right here. Okay, and then I'm going to start with my face. I do a mix between blending and stippling, mostly stippling. Also, I've had a lot of people ask me about cakiness in your when you put on foundation, and you can put on an SPF moisturizer if you'd like. The reason I prime my faces before is with a primer is because I wash my face with coconut oil in the mornings, and I don't want to put any extra moisturizer on there since I do have oily skin. I used to always wear a moisturizer and let that set, it absorb on my face, and then I would go in with my foundation. You really need to put something on your face before your foundation because it needs something to stick to. So you can put an SPF moisturizer on your face, but if your foundation has any sort of SPF, which is sunscreen, in it, it's going to cake. It's like putting lotion in bath water, basically. It's not going to work right. A lot of lighter toned foundations, it just has SPF in there, even if the darker colors don't. So when I picked up this foundation, I was looking at the whitest colors possible. I blend quite a bit. And then I always go around my hairline and kind of blend up because you don't want it to cake right here or in your temple. And as you can see, I don't put too much on my upper lip. If I were going to do a cream highlighting and contouring routine, I would highlight my upper lip, but I'm not. So I'm just going to go one time. And I'm pretty sure, though, that I wipe that off once I do my powder because everything just kind of settles there. And then also, again, blending down. You can do this with powder if you wanted to. I like foundation because I'm just kind of using the resources I have and using up that foundation. And now I got my lids mixed up. Powder, it just rubs off so easily. So. And then, just to show you, I don't always do this. But I'm going to take my matte concealer. Again, I'm going to list the details of it below. And just wherever you have a blemish. This is the only time I'll ever touch my face. Aside from, you know, concealer. And then, I just really lightly just dab some. And I just dab it on my face. I always wash my hands before and after I do my makeup. This stuff's really thick. I would not recommend putting it under your eyes. And it's also a yellow tone. And that's something that I need to mention. With your foundation, you need to be sure to get yellow toned foundation and not pink tone. So yellow on the foundation, and then you'll do pink tone for under your eyes. That way it contrasts, and pink is going to contrast with the darker circles that you have. And it'll really, when you have yellow and then the pink under your eyes, it's going to make your eyes pop and it's going to brighten your whole face. And so this stuff, back to my point, is it's a yellow tone. And so if you put it underneath your eyes, it's not going to look right. And also it's so thick, it's really just going to damage your eyes. I'm going in with a concealer. This is Boo Boo Cover Up. I don't know if I'm going to mention it in the description because I don't really like it for like a face concealer. I'm only doing it on my eyes because I just need something there. And I'm not going to go like spend money on just like a concealer for my eyelid. You just really need something light, like lightweight, not a thick anything, just to cover up any veins and kind of give you just a more even skin tone. Also, I've had people, I'll just go ahead and mention it now since I thought of it, but people have told me when they do their under eye concealer, they get like creases right here in their inner corners. And I've read a lot and looked it up and tried other methods of making that go away. The best thing for me to do is honestly, once I pat all my concealer on, I just lightly like rub, like blend that just a little bit, and then you know it goes away. Most people say you need to just pat it in repeatedly, and that does not work for me. Okay, you'll notice I do my concealer after I do my eyes. So I'm going to go in with, this is just a powder brush, and set my foundation. You do always want to do a powder. It does make everything set. And this stuff, it'll last, you know, all day. And I do put it on my eyelids, only because I put concealer on there. And where Boo Boo Cover Up, you know, it doesn't really crease super bad. I don't want it to. Even when I do my powder eyeshadow, I'm just picky and precautious. So, powder, you need it, and you don't need it just in your T-zone. I mean, it's going to cover up that oil and absorb it, but for the most part, it needs to go everywhere. Okay, I think I'm done with that. So then now what I'm going to do is just brighten my eyes and pretty much just go ahead and frame them out. I'll list everything below. By doing the video this way, it's my attempt of not making a 2-hour-long video. And then I'm doing this extremely lightly underneath my eyebrows. Like super light. And then on my arches, I kind of just wiggle And then bring that down. And it does look super sharp. We're going to blend it out. It's not perfect at all. It doesn't have to be. We're going to fix it. I use my brushes for different intentions and, well, I use them for different uses than they're intended for. So I always label mine like light, dark, medium, things like that. Because I may use a concealer brush for medium tone eyeshadow. So, and I also have like this brush I'm using. I'm pretty sure it's just an eyeshadow brush from e.l.f. And I use it. I have probably 2 or 3 of them. So yeah, they're definitely labeled. You don't want to mix them up for sure. Okay, also when you do any kind of highlighting, you always want to highlight, you know, your brow, your inner corner, and then also right here under your eye if you wanted to do that. Today I'm not so much doing a full, I'm not doing at all a cream highlight and contour. I'm just doing my daily routine. I just took Naked from the Naked palette. And like I mentioned, this is a big old fat concealer brush. And I kind of just swiped it just to, you know, again, like distribute it along that crease. And then I'm patting. For beginners, I would recommend doing a blending brush, like a more smaller, precise blending brush. Finding that crease, you can even like open your eye and find that crease and map it out. And then, you know, once you get the hang of it, you can start with the big old fluffy brushes. I never noticed until I started making these videos, because this is my 3rd attempt at this, that I use quite a bit of Maybelline product, just on a daily basis. Okay, and it's super sloppy, you know, I mean, the process of it is, it doesn't really look sloppy. Then I go back in with Virgin, on the same brush that I used on whatever, on the, just like my highlighting with that pencil. And then just from the inner corner of my eye, fanning it out and up. I don't put this under my eyebrows because it is a powder and it is really frosty. And I'm not going to risk having powdery looking eyebrows. That's also one point I wanted to make, is that you don't want to look powdery. You just want to look like you don't have any sheen on your face. Like you don't... Ugh. So, here, I'll show you right now. So I always keep a washcloth with me, and I'll clean up right here. I'm honestly just doing my hairline, and then right around here. You don't want anything to cake up. That powder, you may not think so, but if you use a big old fluffy brush like I do, it's a lot faster, and it also, but it can go everywhere. Right here too. You need to kind of dab that stuff. Again, you don't want to look super powdery. I even, this is going to sound weird, but I will get a Q-tip after I'm completely done with everything, and I'll just kind of like swoosh the inside of my nose, because if there's any, I just think it looks tacky if you have powder caked all over around. I've had a lot of people ask about my eyeliner that I use. I will put a description box below, but I do want to note that I haven't been able to find it at Walmart in a long time, but CVS has it. Also, for a beginner trying to do some kind of liquid eyeliner, you can do, Physicians Formula has a felt tip pen, and that's really good for just kind of keep it all in. I don't like those, whatever they look like, nail polish, you know, just the liquid with the brush. I don't like those. It runs everywhere, and if you get it in your eye at all, it burns like the dickens. Okay, instead of talking about that, I should have been talking about this. You want to stay with the natural curvature of your eye when you start your eyeliner. The reason you want to do this is because you want to make sure that, first of all, you have your lash line coated, because that's what's going to make your eyelashes look thicker. Also, you don't want your the shape of your eyes to look differently once you do your eyeliner. So what I do is I stay right on that lash line and I curve out my eyes. No one's eyes are exactly the same, but from a distance you want them to look the same. You don't want to look like you have a lazy eye or anything like that. And I am just a little bit cross-eyed to begin with. So I'm constantly moving away from my mirror as I do this. So if I get out of focus, I apologize. But it's super important. I think eyeliner is just, you have to, I pay really close attention to my eyeliner, because it can change your face, your eyes especially. So, quick story. This girl, I know her sister recently graduated, and I was looking at her graduation pictures, and she looked like this, like she's like a little lazy eye. And so I was just like, I never really noticed that. So I went back and looked, and it was her eyeliner. They had luckily posted a picture of her close up, and I noticed it, that one eye was with the curvature, and this eye she just kind of did like flat, and then did it like, it was uneven, and it honestly made her look like she kind of had a lazy droopy eye. I honestly felt really bad for her, because in her cap and gown pictures she looked like that, and it was all just due to eyeliner. If I'm in my bathroom doing this, I will like walk together to the bathroom. Okay, that looks good to me. So I always map out my eyes, and then I'll go in with any other thickness that I want to do. And then also I always do just a little bit more on the sides. And I've heard so many people say that these have to be even. They do not. They just have to make your eyes look even. So, you know, one eye may like dip more on the side, whatever. So if you make sure like your little like wing or feline-ness thing is the same, your eyes still may not look the same. Also, if I do any sort of eyeshadow on my eyes, especially a dark color, I do not, and I honestly think it's a crime to do really thick eyeliner. I don't think I ever do really thick eyeliner unless I just completely messed up and I don't have time to fix it. When you do that, because like, look, when people see you most of the time, this is what they see, just that top of your eye. So, you know, if you're like, oh, look at my new good blending day, you know, all this stuff like that, and you post a picture like this, all we see is that black. Also, you'll be able to see, or you'll notice that I don't put black on my under eye. I think that's awful to do that, especially if you don't blend it out. I've seen so many girls where they don't really do too much up top, but they'll do like super thick just right here. It makes your eyes look upside down. I don't know why that's a thing. But I also grew up where makeup wasn't a huge part of people's lives, and honestly wasn't something that women did. So, so when I started doing makeup, I learned it how, the reason why you do that sort of technique, the reason why you do eyeliner is to make your eyelashes look fuller and to shape out your eye. So, it just confuses me. Okay, my eyebrows. If you want to know how to shape your eyebrows, in my links, I've put the link to Jaclyn Hill. She's an awesome self-taught makeup artist. She shapes her eyebrows. I'm not the person to teach you that or give any advice on it. But she actually does a really good job most days. My eyebrows are pencil thin. It's not that I choose for them to be like that. They don't really grow, and if they do, they grow like down here, and I just have my mom pluck them because I'm too scared that I'm gonna mess them up. My eyebrows have always been like this, and because this is me, I really don't want to make them any more thick, so I won't feel right. Some people, I mean, if you like over plucked, you should probably shake yours. So my eyebrows are pencil thin. I just literally make a line, and then I use the spoolie on the back of this eyebrow pencil to just blend it out. You really do need to fill in your eyebrows. I used to always try to skip that, and I mean, it doesn't look right. Like, I did a comparison, and if you don't, your eyebrows look powdery. Mine are like a sandy blonde color, and my hair is auburn, and it's a dark, like my hair is dark. So my eyebrows are just lost on my face, and your eyebrows really do shape your face. This is going to help with, it does help with, you know, contour, with shaping, all that goodness. That's all I do. As I said, I don't have too many hairs up there, so I don't do any clear setting of any sort. Let me see if I have it. If you do, just get something clear. Like, this is Great Lash. This is what I was given when I was 11. I mean, not this exact one, but when I think I was like 11 when I told my mom I wanted to start wearing makeup. And now that I'm a mom, that is entirely way too young. Like, that's too close to 10, which is too close to 9. It's too young. So my mom gave me clear mascara and clear lip gloss, and that was my makeup. And of course I felt fancy, but after a while I got pretty creative with it. And I'll bring that back up when I do my mascara. Okay, concealer time. Yeah, this is the only concealer I could find at a drugstore that had any sort of pink tone to it. It's pretty good at covering things up. If I wanted to, this is usually what I do. I get this Revlon eye brightener. It is pink, and then I'll just dab it, you know, in between those dots I did, right there, and I kind of just blend it all together. I do it right here though, because that's where most of my dark circles are, and I'm also going to make a really awful face, so just be prepared. When doing your concealer, it's going to act as a highlighter. Even though we're not doing much highlighting, that's what it's going to do. So you want to be sure to come down onto your cheekbones and blend up to your temple. That's going to brighten your eyes. It's just, and it's also going to, if you have bags or any sort of dark circles, it's going to camouflage it much better. You always use your ring fingers, and we're just going to pat. And right now, I'm just from the outside in and then back, and I always go up, in, and then I go down and back up. I'm really just distributing it right now, and then this is where I make my awful faces, so get ready. I do this because I have, like, right here, like, if I make my face, if I stretch that skin out right there, it's like pitch black. Like, I have twins, and it's really bad, so I always do that because I want to try to be sure to really make sure that's coated. I don't know what faces I'm going to be making throughout the day. Some people say that you need to put powder under your concealer to set it. That is true in a way. I don't really put it directly under my eyes. I may just use the wrong powder, but I just feel like it kind of doesn't cover up my circles as well when I do that. So I'm still blending, still here. I don't concentrate too much on putting a lot of product on that lash line. Also, when you focus more on just kind of putting it in this area and on those dark circles, it's going to help alleviate that cakiness in those creases. So we're still going with the padding. And then I always blend right here. My pores are super big right here on my cheeks, so I always blend up when I do that, and then I'll go back with my kabuki brush and just really lightly blend that upwards as well, just to make sure there's no harsh lines. If it is on your nose, that's fine, just kind of blend it up and down, But really, a general rule is that when you highlight and contour, you're going to want to highlight the top of your nose and contour right here. Day-to-day basis, I don't care too much. And it honestly doesn't get too far up my nose to make me worry or make my nose look too much bigger than it already is. And because I am a mom, I go back and right here, I'll do two teeny tiny dots. And I always keep a washcloth with me, like I said, and I'm always cleaning off my fingers. I make my really bad face. I do 2 eyes at one time. I tried to do 1 eye at a time because I thought maybe you could be able to see what I'm doing better, and I couldn't do it. This is just faster. That's about as much as I'll do of the 1 eye thing. Okay, and then like I said, right here, you just kind of fan it upwards and then towards the middle. And I do like little brush strokes, I guess, with my fingers. You don't want to be like, because that skin is so thin. And, well, you may be young or however old you are, after days and days of doing that for so long, you'll notice the error. Okay, so at this time, once I've done that, I usually don't do too much on my lower lash line. But I do think it's important to always put a shadow down there, even if you don't want to wear eyeliner down there. I just did naked again because it's just a really neutral tone on a pencil brush, and I'm just going to fan it like right underneath that lash line. It's going to help you not look so bare. It's kind of just a base for if you do any sort of eyeliner. But never ever do I do liquid eyeliner down here. It looks like your eyelashes or your eyeliner is tattooed on. You don't really want to look like you're tattooed, even if you are tattooed. You want everything to just kind of flow and be seamless. Okay, so you see what I just really lightly line that. I always go back over with my pinkies because I don't really use my pinkies for anything else on my face. And I have super tiny fingers. Like, I'm not wearing my wedding ring, but it's a size 4 in women's, and I can really do a 3.5, but I refuse to have toddler size ring on my finger. But anyways, for me, I always do that because I feel like it kind of just catches anything extra. And only because I want to show you, I'll go ahead and line. I will line the water line, which is that line right there. And I do it very lightly. I kind of concentrate on getting it more towards my eyelashes. And no, it's not perfect. And then back with the same pencil brush. Blend it. These faces. Okay. Also, if you blend, hang on. If you blend that bottom eyeliner, it's not going to run. I've had people come to me and they're like, my eyeliner's running, you know, and just like freaking out about it, and it really is. That's because they just kind of did the waterline or did their lash line, and as you move, blink, wipe your eyes, any emotion you ever have, it's going to move. And when you blend it, it's kind of just blended onto your face. Okay, so we're almost done. Then I go in with powder brush. I'll list this below. And I just dab. I may even dab it a little. And what you're going to want to do is find your cheekbones. I kind of know where mine are. And I also do this. I make a really awful face, and you can see it, like right here. That's where my cheekbone is. You can make the fishy face, and you'll be able to see them. But you're going to want to press your powder brush like right on the bottom of that cheekbone. And then we're going to contour, this powder contour, your cheekbones, and then a little bit on our forehead. It's just going to like slim your face and give it some shape rather than just being like one tone. So right under that, here, I'll do this so you can kind of, maybe you can see it. And then I just, I stipple most of the time for everything. I don't like, since I do use so many brushes on my face, I don't want to pull my skin. So I usually do a stipple. That's one risk you take when doing a foundation brush, although it is better when you have any kind of uneven texture. I'm against sponges, like sponges 100%. Those things are gross. I'm not even going to get into it. But you run a risk of pulling on your skin when you do it. So be sure to do it really lightly and try to stipple after you've distributed it. Doing this again. Hopefully you'll be able to see the definition. It may be sort of a sharp line. We'll fix it. Oh, also, you don't want to go further than the middle of your eye. When highlighting, this area is one of the areas that you highlight. You don't ever put powder right here. It honestly gives you that, what do they call it? Like that monkey effect, I guess, where it, you know, the monkeys have like where their nose goes down. That's kind of what it looks like. It also makes you look like you have 5 o'clock shadow. It's just bad all the way around. So, also, before you attempt this, you should go to Google Images and Google contour for face shape. And then find your face shape and contour according to what it says. I have an odd shaped face and I have extremely sharp jawline. So, and then right here also, we're just gonna, just a little bit. You can bring it out if you wanted to. Again, it's according to your face shape. But really what I do for, if I do makeup on someone, is I kind of just envision that I'm holding an oval. Oval is like the perfect symmetrical face shape. I pretend like I'm holding an oval around their face. And wherever their face goes outside of that oval, that's where you're going to want to contour. It kind of just shapes the face. I make Jabba the Hutt horrible faces. So for me, it's kind of like I'm just cutting out that my super impressive jaw. I don't think anyone else in my family has jaws like I do, and I really think it's due to the amount of gum that I've chewed as a child. Okay. On the jawline, literally on it. I don't go below it. I kind of just want to bring that color to my face, and it's also going to help everything blend more. You can put some of this residual powder on your ears if you wanted to, but like this. But get a Q-tip and clean your ears afterwards. It looks gross if you don't. If people look at your... So, and I'm just kind of really lightly fanning. I am fanning up for the most part. Okay. So then, since I'm already licking my lips, this stuff, I'll go ahead and tell you, is the only lip gloss I think I'll ever use until I find one similar. It actually moisturizes your lips. It's not sticky. And it seems to stay pretty well. It isn't cake or anything like that. But my big issue is that it moisturizes, because most lip glosses don't. They're like purely decorative or cosmetic. I really like this stuff. Apparently they start selling at CVS. I'll have to check CVS and see. Other than that, I order it from Make It Peak. but I for sure recommend it just because, I mean, I wear chapstick so often. I sleep in it. Okay. I'm running low on my mascara, so you'll see me, I'll let you know when I'm doing things differently. Oh, back to my story about this clear stuff. When I was experimenting with only clear makeup, of course I would look at the other girls who did wear makeup, and I noticed that a lot of them, it looked like they weren't even wearing eyeliner, like or eyeshadow. What am I talking about? Mascara. It looked like they weren't even wearing mascara. And I was like, I'm wearing clear, and mine look better than that. And then I realized they're wearing eyeshadow, which I didn't start wearing eyeshadow until probably 2 years ago. Like, I just never did it. So they had like all this powder from the eyeshadow on the back of their eyelashes, and then they would only put mascara right here. It's really common, a lot of people do it. So then I started looking at everyone, like, if not like creepy, but if they're if they're talking to me, I would see if I could notice it. Notice it on a lot of people. So I always started putting this clear stuff on the backs of my eyelashes, and then I'd go in with my mascara when I finally was allowed to wear it, and I'd do my tops just to kind of make sure that that powdery stuff wasn't there. It also coats the tips of your eyelashes, and if you get it longer to your base of your eyelashes, they'll look fuller. Usually I don't double dip. When I say double dip, I mean like I will coat my brush, do the backs, and then I'll, the same motion, like not even putting any more mascara on there, do the front. The reason I really like this mascara is because it does its job. It's a lash blast volume, like, but also you can put multiple coats on there. Since I found this stuff, I can do the backwards and the front all with just mascara, which is cool. So I'm going to show you. I really, for the most part, concentrate on that lash line. It's okay if it touches your eyeliner, whatever. I'm really not focusing on the tips just yet. But then I will just really quickly pull it through to the tips. And I pay particular attention to the ends, because I feel like that helps shape your eyes some too. Really, I just want to make sure that I don't see any powder left on my eye. And then while it's still wet, it's key, while it's still wet, just kind of, and really, I'm just unclumping them from all that coating I just did. The only time I ever do that swishy motion is if they're super clumped up. Also, mascara is the like tinted hairspray for your face, as weird as that sounds. But it really is. It's tinted and it holds your eyelashes in place. So whenever they get clumpy, you need to move them like as you would in your hair. Move it while it's still wet. You can do it with your finger. You should, wash your hands multiple times a day. I've been known to get a safety pin and open it and start at the bottom and just pull it through to separate my eyelashes. Mainly I did that when I wasn't a mom. Now that it would terrify me to even attempt that. Okay. So once I feel like I got them pretty much separated. What is going on? Okay. What is going on? This one. I don't use an eyelash curler. My eyelashes already curl. And, I'm not being conceited in any way. My eyelashes curl and they're also super long. The problem with that is that it catches every bit of powder that falls down from my eyes. And also, that's why I put my concealer on after my eyes, is that I can go back and like shape up or fix anything I messed up, and then go on and make sure that that's clear. There's no like droppings down here of anything. But anyways, at a point. Who knows? Oh, my eyelashes are really long as well. And so, you can see over here, I have my eyebrows pulled up. It may not really look like it that much, but I do. only because if you have any sort of length on them, and it'll make your eyelashes, it'll make them coat to where they're longer, because you have that coat on the back as well. But I don't want anything touching my eyebrows, so I keep them up for a while. Also, a good thing to do is to have a mirror that's directly below you, or angled below you, rather. That way you can see your, like, the root of your eyelashes. Because really that's where you want the most of your stuff to be. You can get volume without doing just major coats and having super thick looking spider legs all the way through. Okay, you can see I just totally messed up my face, and I'm not freaking out about it. I got mascara right here, not a big deal. If you use a waterproof, sorry, can I multitask? No. If you use a waterproof mascara, which I don't recommend for everyday use, but if you use a waterproof mascara and you get something on your face, get it immediately. If you let it dry, it's really not going anywhere, without like some lotion on a Q-tip or something like that. And then I'm just going to go back through with my kabuki brush and just kind of doop, doop, doop. If you use just like a regular mascara, wait for it to dry and then wipe it off, and it won't just completely smear all over your face. And then you do need just a little something on your bottom eyelashes to avoid looking so bland. And then I'm trying to keep my eyelashes away from my face. Really, I said my top eyelashes were long. My bottom eyelashes are ridiculous. And they are blonde. They seriously come down to, let me see if I can feel them. Right here. Like, I don't know if you can see them moving. That's where they go. And I concentrate on the, like, my lash line. And then, just this a little extra bit of fun, I'll go back right here and just do a second coat, just right there. And I'm still focusing on the root. I just do this just to shape the eyes a little bit more. Usually, if I know I'm going to do a second coat, I'll do it while it's still fresh or new. You can, though, this is a good thing with this stuff, is if I wear my mascara in the morning and then we're going to like do something that night, which we usually don't, but if we were, it's not a huge issue for me to just put on another coat of mascara after I do my eyeshadow. That's what I may like define my eyes just a little bit more with some shadow, and then I just go back over. And they really don't look cakey. And okay, I got some on my eyelid, which I'm glad I did. For real? Is she for real? I'm usually not this messy with my mascara. Like, I don't mind getting it on my eyelid, but really on my face, because it's not hard to fix. Okay, you see, I just like super lightly got that off. If you feel like you can still see it, you can always go back with a more precise brush than this one, and then just, I mean, like super concentrated, just kind of wiggle and dab it, because you don't want too much powder to fall back down. And then if you do that though, go back on the other eye, because that's going to be a little bit darker since it has that black underneath it, and then just kind of do the same to that one. Okay, and this is when I said I would clean out my nose, like, with a Q-tip. Oh! Mascara, just because I don't want any excess powder on my eyes. But what I do is I get this bronzer, I'll list it below. It's different from the bronzer I use on my face. This has more glitter in it, and it's also a little bit more of a red shade. It's really hard to try to find a foundation or a bronzer that isn't pink or reddish. I mean, it's so hard. So I just like dab a little bit, and then I'll get some of my blush. My blush is ridiculously pink, by the way. It's up to you. I do that because I know I'm going to mix it with my bronzer. And I also know I'm going to blend the dickens out of it. So what I'm doing is just right on top of that line that we have, I'm going back with my blush / bronzer. And I'm just blending. And most of the time I stipple. Most people will tell you not to blend down. I kind of do like a shoo, 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 like downward swoopy motion. Also, for this, look at your face shape contour chart and do it according to that. I used to never do any sort of blush in the middle of my cheek. But really, for my face shape, I should. And I honestly just kind of figured that out on my own. But then I read about it, and it said that I should. And I was like, oh, I don't know how that's going to look. And so I went to like a professional makeup artist and asked her where she would do my blush. And she did exactly how I did. So, I'm what I'm supposed to be doing. They were right. I go back with my, I have a bristle. I get cheap brushes. You haven't noticed. I mean, they're pretty cheap. I just don't want to spend like $80 on a brush kit that I may lose or my kids may flush or they may break. And I really don't use that many brushes on a day-to-day basis. And then I go back with my foundation brush. I don't put any more foundation on there, but of course, you know, it's a bristle brush. It has some in there. And I just fan out along this area where you want your highlight to be. And I lightly fan down just right around my eyes and back up to my temple because we don't want anything there. If you have an oval shaped face, this is when you'll want to get this and kind of reshape this line. If you have an oval shaped face, you're only going to contour right on that jawline. I don't, so again, look at that. And then I always fan up. This is just part of highlighting what I'm doing. If you want me to do a video of like highlight and contour, I will, but I really don't mind to do it. Most of my techniques and like really the foundation of my makeup is kind of based off of highlighting and contouring because I know what needs to be highlighted and what doesn't. So that's why I do some of the things that I do. And then also, my hair's still wet, by the way. I'll just go back through again in my hairline and make sure there's no powder caked up here. I really don't think blonde people have to worry about this so much. Blonde people, that's why they have more fun, because they don't have to worry about anything. We have like 2 or 3 blonde people in our family, that's it. And they don't have a care in the world. Okay. And then you're done. And it seemed like quite a bit of product, and it seemed it's a long video, but I'll try to record someday a video of me like in action doing my makeup and show you that it really is. You can do it in 5 to 6 minutes. It does take some practice if you're not already familiar with some of these things. And again, I'll list everything I've used, brushes and makeup, in the description bar below. I hope you liked it, and I hope it answered quite a bit of your questions that I've had coming in. So thank you so much. Huh?
Your problem.
Okay. Just stop it.